There are limitless examples of this. The easiest is a broken relationship, where one person or even both refuse to acknowledge that it's their problem in any way. Not my problem, it's all them. Okay, well that's the label you're placing on it. And you can get as many people as you want to agree on that. It doesn't change the reality. This relationship will not be fixed. That's the reality. That's the bottom line. You can cover that bottom line with as many decorations as you want, as many stories and wrongs and insults as you want in that relationship. The bottom line is this isn't getting fixed. That's the reality. And it doesn't change. Can't do it. You know? If it's the ultimatum. It's not changing. I cannot understand for the life of me why so many people are concerned with the appearance of what's going on instead of being concerned with the reality of what's going on and changing that and changing the actual reality of their life. Like, they're so focused on how they can get everyone to agree that their version is what's accurate, that they're not even focused on making their version a reality. I just need to convince everyone else that my version is reality instead of actually making it a reality. I think you should actually make it a reality. If your version is, it's not my fault, I've done everything I can, then make that a reality. Do everything you can. And once that's the reality, you won't think about it anymore. It won't bother you. When the reality is actually that you've done everything you can in a situation, and the only things that are left are outside of your control, well, then it won't bother you anymore. And if you want to be free of it, then that's what you need to do. You need to do everything you can to fix it, and then you'll be free. And then you can tell people, I've done everything I can. And that's not just the appearance, it's the actual reality. So if you want to tell people you've done everything you can, okay, that's fine. But if you don't believe it, it's because it's not the reality. If you're still thinking about it, then it's not the reality. You haven't done everything you can. And the reality won't change. It failed. Whether it's a marriage, a business, a project, a band, whatever it is, you say you've done everything you can. Oh, I tried as hard as I could to get that off the ground. Oh man, I really worked hard to turn in that thing. The reality doesn't change. You can convince them. Is it turned in? Is it off the ground? Is it done? No. Well, that's the reality. Tell everybody whatever you want. Doesn't change the facts. Doesn't change it. Doesn't change it at all. Did it get done? No. And most bosses, that's what they're going to care about. Oh, well, my dog, and he got sick, and then and you know how my family is, and I had to do this and that. It's like, did you get your work done? You didn't get it done. This is the third week. I'm sorry, but we have to let you go. Well, my boss is crazy, and it's my family's fault, and also my dog was sick, and nobody cares about me. Did you get it done? Because the reality has not changed. Go convince as many people as you can that it's not your fault. Get all of them to agree with you. Great. Everyone agrees with you it's not your fault. You still don't have a job. You still are out of a job now. You still can't pay your bills. Maybe you can get one of the people who agrees with you to loan you money, but not the 5th time, not the 6th time, not the 10th time. And the longer you keep this snowball rolling down the hill, the more painful it becomes. Not just for you, but for everyone else involved. Every boss that continues buying this, every family member or friend who's loaned you money and you've screwed them over and they're still caring, but they stop over time. And the longer you let this go on, where you blame everything else for all your problems and you're not to blame and no responsibility, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change a thing. The reality is still the same. You don't have a job. The reality is the same. The relationship is still broken. The business failed. Whatever it is, get everyone to agree with you. It doesn't matter. The reality is the way it is. And until you become concerned with changing that, until you become concerned with changing the reality, your life will just suffer. because you're so concerned about the external appearance of a thing that you're not even focused on improving your life. You're focused on improving the outward appearance of your life. That doesn't make your life better. That makes people think your life is better. It doesn't make your life better. It doesn't change the thing. Focus on changing the actual thing. Focus on changing the literal number in the bank account. Focus on changing the number that you put up when you lift. Don't tell people you're strong. Don't post a bunch of selfies, I'm in the gym, and then leave. What does that do? That doesn't change the reality of the thing. And it's going to come to a point where someone's like, oh, I heard you're super strong, lift that. And you're like, oh, right. I didn't put any effort into changing the reality. I just put a lot of effort into photo shoots and changing the appearance of it, of the thing. Well, about to get found out, aren't ya? So, I just had to go off on this ridiculous rant to say that I highly recommend you focus on the reality of your life and the reality of your relationships and the reality of your projects and the reality of your career instead of focusing on the appearance. If you focus on the appearance and what all the opinions are about it, and you try to change those and control those instead of controlling the actual reality, you will waste all your time and you will end up blaming things outside yourself for what goes wrong instead of fixing the problems because you're focused on reality. Focus on reality, fix the problems, admit they're your fault and that they're in your control so you can change them. If they're in your control, then they're your fault and you can change them. And then your life improves. If they're outside of your control, then they're not your fault, then there's no solution. There's no way to fix it. It's not your fault. How could you fix it? Well, let me let you in on a little secret. It's your fault, and you can fix it, and it's within your control. If it's not, you won't think about it. That's the perfect experiment. Do you think about it? Does it bother you? Then it's within your control. Do you not think about it? Does it not bother you? Then it's outside of your control. There's nothing you can do about it. If it eats away at you, you can 100% change that thing. If it doesn't eat away at you because you know you've done everything within your control, within your power to change it, then you got to just let it go and you got to let it ride its course. But if it bothers you, it's your problem. Fix it.